Yo, what it do, man? It is your boy, the Angry Trucker, aka Mr. You Think It, I Say It, and welcome to the More About Nothing podcast slash reaction slash. Really, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. This is just my personal journal, right? And I would like to apologize. I kind of been away for a minute. Um, uh, just so much been going on with work, and it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to thank the few of you who took the time to leave me a comment. And I want to thank the people who subscribe. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. In this world that we live in, where is so many people giving so many reactions, so many thought-provoking reactions, so many ideas. We live in a planet that I know of as of right now with over 8 billion people, and you took time to watch my video. That really means a lot to me. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you. All right, now that is out of the way, man, again, so much has happened since the last time I did a video, and something that I really been kind of sitting on lately is the CEO of United Healthcare, the shooting. So, man, I just want to toss some things out there. So we're gonna sit back and watch this. I normally don't deal with the View. Nothing against it. It's not for me. So I have nothing negative to say about these ladies. However, half of America pretty much watches this daytime television show. So something interesting happened on here, and the thoughts that went about it, that I seen online rather. And let's just discuss it. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it, and let's go back and forth with it. All right.
One of the hottest topics in America right now, you might have noticed, is the brazen assassination attempt on insurance CEO Brian Thompson outside a New York hotel. It's all over the news, right? If it was anybody else and it wasn't a big CEO, we wouldn't have heard of it, but we heard of it. And it's playing out like a John Grisham novel, really, if you think about it.
She said playing out like a John Grisham novel. To be honest, 2024 has been playing out like an entire television series on Netflix or HBO. Like our lives right now literally is on like season 25. I'm gonna say since 2020. Actually, we in season 5 because 2020 was a wild year. That's when COVID happened and things just went left. So this whole thing is like a television series.
About it. What's the name of that movie?
Firm.
Not the
Which one? He wrote like 50 bucks.
The one about the insurance company. Yes, that one. And then there's an interesting ongoing manhunt for the killer now. New surveillance video.
Now, of course, I'm a little late with doing this, so they didn't call the guy. His name is Luigi Magulone, or Maguloni, something like that. I hate to butcher his name, but they have called him now.
Has emerged of a person of interest, and it's putting the healthcare industry under the microscope. The conspiracy theories are all over the place about the motive. There was something about, writing things on the cases.
Deny, defend, oppose was on the bullet case.
Which is a pretty decent book. I haven't read the book, but I have read the summary of it, synopsis of it, and it talks about being denied of what is it, healthcare and other worldly things, I want to say. Not totally. I kind of briefed it, but which I may dig into a little bit later into this video.
Which is based on a book about how the insurance companies deny claims or cut back on claims or give you only so much.
It ain't just claims. It goes pretty deep about the whole healthcare system. When I said worldly things, just the help that we should receive, put it like that.
Anesthesia, like they wake up in the middle of it, hey, the appendix is out, You can wake up now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That is a
Okay, Sonny's view on this is wow. I typically disagree with a lot of things she say, but she was dead on the money. I don't know if she's going to say exactly what I'm looking for in this particular section, but it's after this where I'm going to give my thoughts.
Thing with the amount of time you can be under anesthesia depending on the depending on the surgery. You know, I think what has shocked me the most is the anger that is being reflected against this man who is a father and a husband who was murdered. I mean, I was looking at some of the social media comments, and I try to stay away from social media, but it said some of the comments were thoughts and deductibles to the family. One of the comments was, unfortunately, my condolences are out of network. And so I think it really, isn't that something? I really think it's reflective about how people are feeling about their health care. And if you look at this particular CEO, while he made about $10 million a year, which is not actually unusual for a CEO of a company this size, this particular health company, United Healthcare, is the largest company that's responsible for Medicare programs for people over the age of 65. And our country is one of the only countries that doesn't have universal health care.
Which is really sad because this is supposed to be the free world and everybody runs here because it's a better way of living. Yet when you get sick, you're pretty much on your own.
We don't take care of our elderly, and people are feeling the pinch. We talk about that all the time. And I think people are really angry at the healthcare system. And so unfortunately, it's translating to this father's
The sheer stupidity
murder.
that people would turn to violence and think that they're effectuating change is the most ghastly part of this, because it's not the humor. There are people thinking they're funny. There are people writing things. I have a really disgusting sense of humor, and not one of these did I read.
Yeah, it wasn't funny.
It actually made me feel so sad. It's not even just that he's a father and he has kids. He's a human.
Yes.
And that someone would take it upon a subject and target that person as if you're going to change any system. You're not, dude. You're not going to change anything.
Well, we don't know if that's it.
And that is where I want to stop it. So it wasn't Sonny, it was her. Sonny did say something, but this is the interesting part, right? This lady right here just said that nothing changes when it comes to violence. Let me make sure I heard exactly what she said again, because I want to make sure before I give my thoughts. I want to make sure.
Ghastly part of this, because it's not the humor. There are people.
It's translating to this.
Effectuating change is the most. The sheer stupidity that people would turn to violence and think that they're effectuating change.
Right there. And that is a lie. This is the United States of America, right? And inciting violence to make a change. Funny you say that. Let's go down it. Jamestown Massacre, conflict between English settlers and Native Americans. Native Americans killed 347 settlers. They was trying to come take over their land. 1620s to 70s. Persians massacre. That happened in Connecticut, wiping out an entire village. King Philip's War, 1675 to 1676, a devastating war between New England settlers and Native Americans led by King Philip. Thousands died, and many Native Americans were sold into slavery. The slave trade itself, 1600s to 1865. First enslaved African Americans arrived in Jamestown, beginning new centuries of forced labor, brutal treatment, and systematic violence. What did this lady just say again?
We talk about that all the time, and I think people are really angry.
The sheer stupidity that people would turn to violence and think that they're effectuating change is the most ghastly part of this, because it's
okay. I'm glad you said that. Enslaved Africans in South Carolina revolted. Dozens were killed. because they tried to make a change from not being slaves anymore, wanted to be treated like human beings. And yet, Sarah Haynes, is it? You're wrong. You're dead wrong. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. Battles of Lexington and Concord started a violent resilience to the British rule. War for independence. Thousands of soldiers and civilians died. 1800s genocide. Tears of Trail, to be exact. 1838 to 1839. Thousands of Cherokee Indians died. 1864. Sand Creek Massacre. U.S. troops massacred 230 Cheyenne and I can't enunciate that. Indians, though, including women and children. The Civil War itself. Over 620,000 Americans died in brutal battles over slavery and states' rights. Assassination of Abraham Lincoln. John Wilkes Booth. That was after the Emancipation Proclamation. Shot him in the head. Man, this goes on and on. The industrial era and labor violence. Police kill workers during the labor protest in Chicago. This is in 1886. Racial terrors and segregation. 1919, Red Summers. There was a race riot which erupted across the United States with hundreds of black Americans killed. 1921, Tulsa Race Massacre. White mobs destroyed Black Wall Street in Tulsa, killing up to 300 black residents. 1955, a 14-year-old black boy was brutally lynched in Mississippi, sparking the civil rights movement. Man, I could go on and on. This is like, what are you talking about, lady? Violence has happened all the time. Does it make it right? No, it does not make it right. However, and not saying because I hate, well, okay, when we go back to the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the Emmett Till situations, those were not good examples within this because white people killed blacks at that time because blacks was actually doing good for themselves when it comes down to thriving in America. Because let's see here. Let's see, how was blacks thriving in All right. Here we go. This is post-Reconstruction migration. Land and ownership. Many black families were able to acquire land in Oklahoma, including from the Creek Nation, where some freedmen, former slaves of Native American tribes, received land. They benefited from oil. Wow, see, I didn't know that. Black entrepreneurs in Tulsa established self-sustaining economy within the Greenwood district. Businesses included grocery stores, barbershops, banks, movie theaters, hotels, restaurants. They had even law enforcement, medical services. Notably, W.O. Gurley, a wealthy black landowner, purchased land in Greenwood and sold it exclusively to black residents, helping build the foundation of a thriving business district. This is Black Wall Street. There was the Dreamland Theater. There was the Stratford Hotel. They also had one airport. Excuse me. Yes, they had one airport. This is what helped cause that. The success of Black Wall Street drew resentment from white residents who were angered by the economic independence and wealth of the black community. That was which caused the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Now, to go back to her point, people excite violence for change. Doesn't make it right. Again, listen at me good. That doesn't make it right. However, violence was still used because white people at that time thought that blacks was doing better than them and they wanted to slow them down. So they created violence. It has always happened. Even though this is 2024 and we think that something should change, no. At our core, we are violent individuals. We have instinctual survival methods. At the end, all we know is eat, sleep, fight/kill to survive and find shelter. That is it. At the core, we're just animals with personality. Well, I can't even say that because some animals have personalities. But from a scientific level, we're animals, man, with a conscience. There we go. We're animals with a conscience. That's it. So whenever I see all this stuff and I hear this, it's dead wrong. And is that going to be the last CEO to get knocked off? No, that's not, sadly. There will be more. One thing about history, it repeats itself. And that pitcher is starting to wind his arm up, and he's getting ready to throw. We see little bitty stuff happening now. Do I want it to happen? No. But sadly, there will be more things that happen. I hate that this one's like that, but this has been on my mind for a minute. And it's just something that I really wanted to take time to kind of think about, talk about, and put it into my diary form. I would love to know y'all thoughts and opinions on the View's big outrage, as if this is like, no, this should never happen and this shouldn't have happened. I would like to know y'all thoughts and opinions on it, man. So, again, thank y'all so much for rocking out with me. And I look forward to seeing your comments in the next video. Godspeed and good night.